Hi everybody, my name is Danielle Nicole and welcome to Monetary Makeup. So Kayali just dropped a brand new Lovefest perfume, Burning Cherry number 48. Now I am not normally a fan of cherry fragrance, however after reading the notes of this perfume, the notes just called my name. So if you're excited to hear my thoughts about Burning Cherry number 48 and you enjoy the video while you're watching, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and let's get started right now. So let's first go over a couple of quick details about Lovefest Burning Cherry number 48. So for those who don't know, Mona Catton, I believe that is how you pronounce her last name, she is the creator of all the Kayali fragrances and she happens to be Huda Beauty's sister. So the size I picked up is a miniature fragrance bottle and it comes in 10 mils or 0.33 fluid ounces and this retails for $27 US. Now this specific bottle shape and size is only available on Huda Beauty's website at this time. Now I wanted to make a point to mention that because most folks that I've talked to were expecting this size and shape of a bottle, but they ordered the mini size on Sephora, and what arrived was a shape and size similar to a travel spray. So if you wanted the actual miniature version of the full-size fragrance, then I would definitely recommend ordering on Huda's website. Now the one thing about Kayali's packaging is even with these miniature bottles right here, they are just absolutely stunning, especially sitting on your vanity. So I was willing to pay a couple more dollars for this shape and size as opposed to the travel spray. So as you can see, I am a fan of Kayali's fragrances in general, but I do want to mention that this video is not sponsored and I did purchase all of these fragrances myself. So let's first get into the notes. The fragrance family of Burning Cherry is warm and spicy. The scent type is warm and sweet gourmands. The key notes are black cherry, rose de messina, and palo santo. Celebrate life with this luscious sweet gourmand fragrance and awaken the free spirit within you. The enticing contrast of succulent burning cherries and raspberries, accompanied with the sweetest caramelized notes of praline against smoky earthy notes of palo santo, guaiac wood, and patchouli, makes this a truly mesmerizing and euphoric fragrance. As you can see, this bottle comes in a translucent dark cherry red Kayali signature bottle. Now these fragrances come in a variety of different sizes, but I just wanted to test out the mini size just to see if I actually like the scent. Now Burning Cherry is not quite as strong as some of the other fragrances that last a bit longer, such as Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper or Euphoria Vanilla Cocoa. So as I mentioned, I'm not typically a cherry fragrance fan. However, what really drew me in were the burning or smoky notes. So let me spray this and then we'll talk about the scent. So upon the first spray, the opening notes, you definitely get a blast of sweet dark cherry. Now, I do get a hint of the Palo Santo, however, it's not very strong in this particular fragrance. Now, I have actually not ever tried Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, which I know many people are comparing this fragrance to, but I thought it would be helpful to just give my impression since I've never tested out that fragrance before. So the top notes, it's certainly a very sweet gourmand dark cherry. Now, I don't get a ton of the woodsy Palo Santo as I just mentioned until it starts to dry down a bit. Now this scent, you guys, this just makes me so happy when I smell it. It just smells absolutely delicious. And divine would be another word I would describe this as. Now, I think it's important to note that the actual cherry scent within this fragrance, it is not like cough syrup or a fake candy cherry. Now, I would certainly describe the actual cherry scent as a dark cherry. However, I'm not getting a ton of that burning or woodsy undertone like I expected. So if you were to ask me if this fragrance would be categorized more in the woodsy or earthy notes versus gourmand, I would definitely say gourmand from the top notes all the way to the dry down. However, once this dries down, especially on the skin, some of the woodsy, more smoky notes do start to come through, but in my opinion, they are very light and the cherry is definitely the standout from start to finish. So even though the scent is more on the gourmand sweet cherry side, It does not smell juvenile. To me, this is a delicious, sexy, grown-up version of a sweet dark cherry. Now, for those of you who may not traditionally be a fan of woodsy, earthy, burning, charcoal notes, I would still recommend giving this a try. And those burning notes are so slight. Now, for those of you who have ever smelled sweet diamond pink pepper, this is certainly a beautiful fragrance. However, that pink pepper definitely stands out in this fragrance. So I would categorize sweet diamond pink pepper and Lovefest Burning Cherry as two complete opposites. Now, even Utopia Vanilla Cocoa, this one has more of a creamy, rich scent, whereas Burning Cherry is definitely on the sweeter side. Now, going back to Burning Cherry, this is hands down one of my favorite fragrances from Kayali. Now, because I am not able to compare this scent to Tom Ford's, I really tried to rack my brain to come up with how to describe this scent. So if you have ever walked into a cider mill, you get that really rich, sweet, delicious apple cinnamon scent. This is what Burning Cherry reminds me of, except for replace the apples with dark cherries. So even though cinnamon is not necessarily a note in this fragrance, it almost reminds me of apple cider, except for cherries and cinnamon. So that is the best way I can describe this fragrance, but let me just say, it is absolutely delicious. So I would say that this fragrance can definitely be worn year-round. However, this really screams fall and winter to me. Now, one of the standouts for Kayali's fragrances is they are really meant to be able to be layered. But if you want to spice things up a bit, get a little bit more smoky and deep, I have the perfect fragrance to layer with. This is from the house of Maison Margiela, and this is from the Replica line called By the Fireplace. Now, Replicas By the Fireplace, if you have never tried this scent before, it is exactly like sitting by a fireplace roasting marshmallows or perhaps chestnuts. So some may say that this fragrance is unisex or perhaps on the masculine side, but I find even though this has a really smoky, woodsy tone to it, it still has a sweet scent to it. So I feel like these two fragrances were absolutely made to be used together. So if you find that By the Fireplace is just a little bit too smoky, too woodsy for you, and you're really craving a sweet gourmand scent, this pairs wonderfully. Or on the flip side, if Burning Cherry is a bit too sweet gourmand for you, adding in a hint of By the Fireplace, it just gives it a bit of smoky, earthy tones. Now, I am definitely a fan of Lovefest Burning Cherry number 48 on its own. However, when you combine them, it is chef's kiss. Now, the only downside to Lovefest Burning Cherry is that it's not the longest lasting fragrance. So I find when this fragrance is sprayed directly on the skin, after about 4 hours, I would say at that point it starts to turn into a skin scent. Now, I still do get scent bubbles throughout the day, and I can smell it if I put my nose right up against my wrist, but overall, this is not the longest lasting fragrance. However, I do get more lasting power when I spray Burning Cherry directly on the clothes. Now, this opinion is probably where I'm going to lose a few people, and perhaps we may have different opinions, but with me, fragrance is not just about the scent and the lasting power. To me, fragrances really bring me to a place in time. So I actually appreciate when I can reapply throughout the day. Now, I know to most people, the lasting power of a high-end fragrance is extremely important to them, and I can certainly appreciate that. But to me, the lasting power isn't quite as important to most. So that's the only downside. This scent specifically does not have the most lasting power, whereas, for example, Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper and Utopia 21, these definitely last all day on me. So if lasting power is not something that is at the top of the checklist there, this fragrance is absolutely divine. So now I want to hear from all of you guys down below. Have you picked up Lovefest Burning Cherry? If you did, what was your experience? Did you like the scent? Did you not? Was it a total pass? Let us know all your thoughts down below. Alright, you guys, well, I really hope you enjoyed today's review of Burning Cherry. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye, guys!